What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you are enjoying your weekend. Nene Leakes' oldest son, Bryson, is ordered to stay in jail until January 2024. So he won't be a free man, even if his wealthy reality star mom wanted to bail him out. He won't even be eligible for release from the Gwinnet County Jail until January 3rd, 2024. So, a spokesperson in the sheriff's release office confirmed to radaronline.com that Nene's son was stuck behind bars for at least 152 more days. So he was arrested on July 3rd and was charged with felony possession of an illegal substance that starts with an F and a misdemeanor of loitering and prowling. At the time of his arrest, Bryant claimed to be his younger brother, Brent Leakes, whom the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum shared with her late husband, Greg. His real identity was later confirmed, and he was hit with an additional charge of giving a false name, address, or birth date to a law enforcement officer. So when they ran Bryson's name in the system, officers saw that Nene's son was wanted for a probation violation in a separate case. And the Real Housewives of Atlanta star recently spoke out about her son's arrest, revealing that she's numb to the situation because he's really been struggling with drugs for years. He needs rehabilitation, she explained. He needs like a lot of counseling, like many families out there. I have family members that are struggling with drugs and certain addictions. He has an addiction. He's been struggling with it for years. He's been in rehab for a couple times and has still come back out and relapsed. Bryson's ex, Simone Davis, told Radar Online that she's not surprised that the police found drugs in Bryson's vehicle. However, she was definitely shocked when she discovered what type of drug that it was. She says, I didn't know that he was going to that depth of drug use. Bryant and Davis, they share a son named Blaze, whom a judge ruled that Bryson was the biological father in July of 2020. And this is documented via legal documents. So despite their differences, Simone agreed with Nene that Bryson needs rehabilitation. And, he does, right? People who are struggling with addiction, they absolutely do. The former Bravo celebrity disclosed that her College Hill co-star, Lamar Odom, who suffered from a near-fatal overdose in 2015, stepped in and offered to get Bryson into treatment. There are pictures of the Gold Bridge Treatment Center in Lewisburg, Kansas, where sources told us that Lamar offered to bring him there after he's done serving his time. Good. I think that that's, really helpful. Lamar is somebody who can be a support system to Bryson without, judgment or ridicule, right? He can help him. Hopefully, he's strong enough. Maybe he could serve as a sober coach or mentor. But yeah, I think that it's really unfortunate that Bryson has been struggling with this for so long. And I really, truly hope that he does get the help that he needs, because the drugs that were in his car, they are so dangerous and serious. It starts with an F. I'm trying to abide by the community guidelines over here. But yeah, this drug, is cut with a lot of different substances. And it's something that, I feel like addiction, and of course, I'm not an expert by any means, but I feel like addiction has been so politicized within this country. Like if especially back in the 80s, the war on drugs, which we now know was the war on people, especially people of color, Black and brown people, they would get different sentences for the exact same substance. whether one was in a rock form that was cheaper or one was in a powdered form that was used by the dominant demographic. And so I'm glad to hear that Nene, like she said, she's never going to give up on her child, but at the same time, she doesn't want him out driving, under the influence. She doesn't want him setting up her, her other son, right? Brent. I mean, he just had a huge health scare. I think he had a stroke. He was in the hospital. I do know he was hospitalized, but it was a severe condition. And it's scary, like she just recently lost Greg, and Brent got sick, and now Bryson's behind bars, and it's just like one thing after another after another. So, definitely keep her family lifted up in prayer. And I'm not even a huge Nene fan like that, but I never want to kick somebody when they're down. And I can recognize that her family has been going through a very difficult time. And Bryson needs all the support that he can get. I know she says she reached out to John, which, if you guys remember, he was the Italian gentleman who gave her a watch. She was like, bling, bling, bling. Bees is mad. He said that he would also try to get Bryson into a rehab facility. And again, she is going to need, and Bryson as well, right, is going to need all the help and support I feel like she's able to offer him, because he seems like he's really, struggling to be in and out of jail that many times, especially in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like that has to be really, truly difficult. And I'm wondering if he is, struggling losing Greg, which I'm sure was the only father figure that he's known, because Greg isn't his biological father. He's Brent's biological father. But I know Bryson had mentioned that he wasn't around Nene a lot growing up, and he felt slighted that, since she got married and Brent was Greg's biological son, that family unit, and him and Brent are quite a few years apart as well, but their family unit was a lot more intact than his own personal experience growing up. And so if you feel estranged from your mother, and you don't have a close relationship with your biological father, and I'm sure Greg did the best that he could while he was here, rest in peace, God rest his soul, then he didn't have those feelings of security and safety and connection and community that we all innately need as human beings, especially, as a young kid growing up. One of the things Nene said during her interview with Carlos King was that she wished that she had not been so hard on Bryson, especially on camera. The one time she was like, you must have lost your mind, and da, da, da. I think he was like 14 years old. And that was one of the earlier times where I think he got picked up for shoplifting or something small. But it is sad because he's been in and out, in and out, in and out of jail so many times. And it's like, now he's married and he is a father to, I think Nene said 3 kids. I don't know if she claims the one that he has with Simone Davis, Blaze, but regardless, if Bryson does, then I feel like, he'll step in, similar to, right, what Greg did with him. But I hope that he receives the help that he needs, the support that he needs to break free of this addiction, and he can have a whole new beginning in his life at the beginning of next year. January 3rd, 2024 is the earliest that he can be released. So we'll see. If there is an update, I'll bring it to you. Please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you later. Take care, aces. Bye.